So the difference between you and the ancient woman or your goddess, and they already know it. This has to be free. They say free the land. This is the land they're talking about. This is sovereignty. You see what I'm saying? You got to free the land. They say, I am Isis and my veil has not been lifted. No one knows my veil. The veil is the pussy. You see what I'm saying? There's a book out called Sexy Witch. Sexy Witch. I don't know the name of the author, but it's called Sexy Witch. But there's a chapter in there called Pussy Power. And what the girl is saying here is the reason why you can't tap into nothing because you walk around for 30, 40 years and don't even know how your vagina looks. You're supposed to shave your shit so you can see it. You see what I'm saying? The girl said, man, see, you ain't eating my stuff right. I said, I can't see your shit. It's like eating a fur. I'm like, damn. Like eating a little miniature dog or something. So, I'm like, damn. You know? So what the deal is, they say you're supposed to get a mirror, you're supposed to shave your shit, you're supposed to get a mirror, and you're supposed to sit down, and you're supposed to memorize every bit of how your vagina looks. See what I'm saying? And that brings them, because that is the land. You see what I'm saying? That is the land. But they already know you on lockdown because you all in religion. You shame of your shit. You see what I'm saying? Huh?
It's another heart. Yes.
2 hearts. The second is also a heart. The lily in the valley. And the clitoris is the second pineal gland. You see. Now, up within there is the G-spot that you got to find the G-spot, and that's the doorway to the goddess. And there's a mantra that you say, Lu-ah-ah, once you find it and you have your man massage it. You see what I'm saying? Lu-ah-ah.
You spell that?
Lu-ah-ah.
That's not anymore. Let's get him to say it. Somebody got to help him out. Somebody write it down. Somebody help him out. Get the DVD off the man.
That's Ebonics. Spell it phonetically. Now.
I've always known that for a long time because they symbolize the heart on their Valentine cards.
Right.
And I've not always known that's where they got the symbol from.
That's right, yeah.
That shape.
Yeah. What's that, sister? Mm-hmm.
I was just going to say that you mentioned before that the European has got a mind control propaganda machine.
Yeah.
And the best way to tackle the enemy is
Yeah.
although we know some of our people historically just
yeah.
And you rightly, this is something I do agree with. I'm not sure where you go with this part of the lecture, but in terms of the spiritual warfare, listening to what you're saying, what's coming across from your earlier part of the lecture is that it's important that we actually switch off
Right.
their news information, take what is relevant, the most that is irrelevant, and actually switch into news information from those that are able to take...
Right, see, we're not telling people that you don't supposed to learn of conspiracies against you because it makes sense on why you were suffering as long.
Exactly.
So they're not saying that, but my point here is we can get stuck in it if that becomes the substitution of certain knowledge that you're supposed to be learning to become back to your higher self, and yet you're mistaken that you use that as a form of a new religion where you learning everything that they do. Well, they're going. Well, if it's a warfare machine, so it means that they're going to do that constantly while we're sleeping. But what you do when you study most of that, you're studying his agenda, and you're negating your own agenda, which is a spiritual agenda, which is a spiritual agenda. So my thing here is, a lot of times we're thinking of power based on the way he has taught us to think of power based on his technology, which is physical technology. But our power comes, they say the simple is the most sublime. Now, we understand that if we're coming back into a whole, coming from a matriarchal standpoint of view to a patriarchal standpoint of view to a matriarchal thing, then you got to understand what were we thinking or what were we talking about. We weren't just learning ourselves as the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Sumerians. If you go back to ancient Kemet, they wouldn't be studying their history. They were living history. What was the ecological mind state on certain mysteries and certain things like that? And that is our particular technology. You see what I'm saying? So my point here is to free the land. They got us on lockdown, and a lot of disease and a lot of things you have is, for the simple fact here is you wearing the panties. Now let me try to understand this. Now what happens is this. Once you eliminate the underwear, there's a force field that not only permeates around you, it permeates around your own house. You could have plants that ain't had sunlight in 6 months and don't die. They feeding off of some stuff called collars, ojas, shaktis, gunners, and rustlers. All this shit is emitted from the vaginal fluids. You see, collars, ojas, shaktis, gunners, rustlers. And these are things that they haven't studied, and it's a whole ecological system that can line you up into the dimension that it's coming in. You see what I'm saying? And it permeates throughout the whole household. Your man is healed, the children is healed. Then the healing becomes on a psychological level. You see what I'm saying? But the key, the woman has it.
I still ask you a question and you didn't answer it.
What's that now?
Is this a thing that the white girl knows? Because a lot of
I'm getting ready to answer that for you. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. Now let me explain something. They got new information coming out in Marilyn Monroe. We know that they said Ava Gardner, Elvis Presley, Abraham Lincoln, a couple other presidents were black. They had black ancestry. That woman, Carol Channing, just died and said her father was black, and Eisenhower's mother was a mulatto. Well, they say even Marilyn Monroe had black ancestry. Now, Marilyn Monroe, now hold on now, look, I'm getting distracted. Because see what it is, when I pour the libation, my hearing becomes real, so anything I can hear it and it throws me off. Marilyn Monroe couldn't act. They had several pretty white women or whatever as white standard go as far as what they call the standard of beauty. But what was it why Marilyn Monroe took them by surprise? Marilyn Monroe locked down Hollywood, hands down. But Marilyn Monroe magic was Marilyn Monroe never wore no underwear. So whatever she was radiating on, even if it was debatable where she was black or white, she was dealing with the maximum of her energy, be black or white, because she didn't wear fucking underwear. See what I'm saying? You see. Huh? Well, the difference between black pussy and white pussy is with mutated pussy, you don't have the collars, the shaktas, the ojas, and these particular secretions. So what happens here is these particular secretions. So what happens here is it becomes more of a vampire energy that takes your energy. You see what I'm saying? There's all kind of reports of guys, they stay sick all the time, because, so when you crossing up species, you see what I'm saying like that? That's the difference and stuff. It can lock stuff down. You see what I'm saying? On that particular level. Now don't get me wrong, the offspring from that is melanin. Melanin is like the black hole. Whatever it comes in contact with, it replicates that we'll just put it this way, it sucks that in. And it makes that thing become it, as far as the offspring goes. But that's what that's talking about. But what I'm trying to say here is in this particular aspect here, these are the types of things that we have to deal with, a lot of times we are locked in with what we call revolutionary aspect of things. We've been dealing with certain modes based on our oppression and what we had to do based on our oppression. Now we are returning as a higher entity, and some of this, and a lot of the stuff we're talking about here is dealing with your own physiological and sociological or your psychological breakdown. You see what I'm saying? Give me some questions. What's that?
Yeah, colour purple.
Yeah.
There was a scene where I think the name was Sissy, which is played by Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
She discovered herself when, was it the other Rose that showed her pussy? And
Yeah.
she opened it up and
Right.
then kind of rejuvenated her.
Right. Look.
Is that the same thing type of thing you're talking
Yeah,
about?
let me give you some more information. See, a lot of stuff we deal with taboo. You know, they used to have days in Egypt when the women would get together and do things like that to expose themselves in the right of womanhood. You see what I'm saying? It's a whole advanced, it's a whole advanced thing. See, the thing about the woman, which is some stuff that is so powerful, is just this ultimate mystery. It's the ultimate mystery. Is if the vagina is made to receive the penis, and that is also a sexual pleasure, then why have a clitoris? And my point here is it's some advanced mysteries to say in actuality that might not be a doggone law to say that, hey, the woman is such an advanced being until that could very well, I don't want to say nothing, but I can understand when
I think
it's on a whole nother level. You see what I'm saying? It's on a whole nother level. I want to say this way here. She is not just this one monolithic being. You see what I'm saying? And we was playing a real cruel joke. And it even said it in the book, Secrets of Regeneration of a Man is nothing but a degenerative female.
Yeah,
We got a cruel joke because our G-spot is the damn prostate gland. See what I'm saying?
the same thing you were saying.
It's just a real cruel joke. You see. Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna say, some research of I've done has come across this thing called the bulbous glands that a woman used to be able to basically fertilize her own.
Oh yeah. No doubt about that. They can make their own self
Male
pregnant.
principle they have.
They can make themselves pregnant by the sun. Now what that is?
That's right. They used to lay out.
They say that basically the sun is sperm is nothing but solar phallic energy. Basically, the sun rays get trapped and produce itself into a semen form. But if it's the solar phallic energy that brings the life to the planet, then a woman could impregnate herself by just opening her legs up to the sun. And they got whole things on that type of thing in history about that, yeah.
So then how do you see these women that they have a penis? A woman that has a penis and a woman.
You mean a hermaphrodite or you mean an old enlarged clitoris? It's two different things.
Oh, you're talking about the
Are you talking about hermaphrodite? Hermaphrodite. Well, hermaphrodite is just what it is. It's a hermaphrodite. She just got both sexual organs. Let's put it this way: they were worshipped in the ancient world. They were worshipped in the ancient world. It represents the dual entity type of thing. You see what I'm saying?
I heard you in libation, I heard you mention Lilith.
Lilith, yeah.
Isn't that?
Well, no, Lilith is actually, you can trace Lilith back. Lilith is actually Kali in India, Sekhmet in Egypt. She's a different one. Lilith, the story of Lilith that wouldn't lay down with Adam. Wouldn't lay down with Adam.
Or in the subordinate position.
In the subordinate position and stuff like that. In so many words, the story really is telling you that Lilith represented the goddess aspect that predates Adam. So she got up and left and went back to heaven. That's just the mythological aspect about that. And it represents the power of the goddess before she fell. You see what I'm saying on that particular aspect. So it's not the priest understood that it's not evil in the aspect of what you think things are evil. You see what I'm saying? Evil really doesn't exist. It's just a misconcept, a misconstruing of another person's earlier myth. So one man's devil is another man's God. So the devil is only the gods of yesterday. This is relegated into the devil for the simple fact he is, if I come with a new religion and you already got one and I say your God is cool, then they don't need me getting down with your new religion. So I have to demonize the previous deity. And that didn't start with white people. These religions were started long before white people even got it. We are responsible for that because the first one was ancient Egyptians. Your pre-dynastic Egyptians worshiped Set, the primordial god of all time. The word Set or Sut or Setesh, our word black comes from that. And then the Ammonites came later on, and it's customary, if you come in, you take the previous deity and relegate him as the devil in your mythology to get the people to accept to follow that. One man's God is another man's devil. You see what I'm saying? What's that,
Yeah, I was looking at some of the research by Richard Hoagland and the whole thing about the changing of the cycle in terms of the DNA. And they actually scaled in terms of what's coming up around the corner in terms of the major changes. And one of the things that they say, based on the changes of the DNA, the science and all of the things that we're using now would not be operational or would not be...
Exactly. What's getting ready to happen, and this is what's happening and why they're really scared and they're doing all this rushing. And this is one reason why this whole alternative energy, why they're raising the gas prices, they try to force people to look into alternative energies because they already know what's going to happen here is, because see, global warming is coming about based on your kundalini is rising. So you see what I'm saying? Your kundalini is rising, and that's what's causing the global warming. Your DNA has changed, your kundalini is rising, and the planet is rising with it. So they're in a rush to find alternative energies because they already know that once the DNA gets to a certain level and the earth rises to another dimension, then what's going to happen here is the things that will activate, the things that work in this dimension will no longer work. So therefore, none of their gunpowder, none of their nuclear power, and none of that shit going to work. You see what I'm saying? So they're trying to come up with alternative energy, trying to use the sun. You see what I'm saying? Because the sun is nothing, is in alignment with the same energy that you're dealing with, the kundalini energy, the solar phallic energy. So what they're doing here is they're trying to get alternative energy because they already know when your DNA gets to a certain level, you see what I'm saying? And it don't necessarily be 2012. It's a 2012 cycle. It can be the summer. It can be the summer solstice, which is tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? It can be the rising of Sirius, which is July 23rd on into August. It rises several times, different times. But they already know that once this stuff gets to a certain level and the kundalini energy is on the inside of you, no guns, no bombs, and none of that shit won't work. Because all those things is activated by certain elemental things that's in the atmosphere that makes these things combustible and work and fire. But if the atmosphere changes, then it doesn't work. We already proved with Marie Laveau and what happened to me on 9/11 that if the atmosphere changes and it's another dimension, then it don't necessarily mean that things will actually happen. And guess what? You know the bees that disappeared into the other dimensions? Well, they fucking in my front yard. The same honeybees that they can't find nowhere, they're in my front yard. But it's another dimension.
Can you explain, according to us, the ozone layer, not according to them?
You know, a lot of that shit was fake in the first place. They supposed to had a hole in the ozone layer, then they supposed to fix it. All that old shit, man, is for paranoia. You know what I'm saying? We gotta save the planet. The planet don't need no fucking saving. You're like fleas on the planet. When the planet want to transmute itself and stuff, it's going to throw everything off it that ain't connected to it. You see the thing? And the planet ain't nothing but your cousin. So since we're in the same family, we ain't got shit to worry about. You see what I'm saying? So if the energy changes, ain't no more guns, no more bombs, it's square one. And you can fight better than them. Now, I know a group of black women that kick ass. Oh, shit. I know a group, I said if I'm going to get a soldier, I'll get about 30 of them motherfuckers. Because they devious. They know how to kill on a whole other level and shit. Huh?
What behind it?
I'll be honest with you, that's a holographic universe up there. That shit don't even exist. The universe is on the inside of us. Get Michael Talbot's book, The Holographic Universe. That's why, that stuff up there is nothing but a series of stuff that don't exist. And that stuff came into view when your pineal gland and stuff got shut down. You see what I'm saying? So what it is, you needed a roadmap to show the souls and the stars up here, because you can't see the souls down here because you see in the physical bodies, which is the illusionary aspect. What's that, brother? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to know your insight on ancient Babylon. And why is it
Good question. Good question. Ancient Babylon is the baby lion. The lion and her baby. That's Isis and Horus. And you've been talking about that. That's one of your most ancient goddesses. It's ironic because the Rasta comes from the word restile. The Restile Plateau. And before it was the Restile Plateau, by the dynastic Egyptians, it was called the Babylonian Plateau by the pre-dynastic Egyptians. It was called the place of the lion, the baby lion, Babylon. And then the Babylonian Plateau, when the pre-dynastic people traveled out of Egypt and was forced out based on warfare, they went up into the area of Mesopotamia and started Babylon again. That ain't nothing but your people, and Babylon is an ancient form of the ancient goddess. You see what I'm saying? But we all biblical shit where you taking older terminology and turn it into something evil and stuff like that. You see? So you can't get shit from a couple of pamphlets. Now that you understand the greater form. This is an excellent book that just came out. Dynamite. You need to get this book. It's called The Revelation of St. John, The Path to Soul Initiation, by Zachary F. Lansdowne. Zachary, Z-A-C-H-A-R-O-Y, F. Lansdowne, L-A-N-S-D-O-W-N-E. The Revelation of St. John by Zachary F. Lansdowne. And in this book here is, because we know the Revelation text was a text that came out of Egypt. The Cambyses of Persia, when they invaded Egypt or Hemmitt, they took a lot of text back. And so it was found in Persia. You can get a book called Parallel Myths by J.R. Birlin. Don't you ask me how to spell, just because you the only thing back is the name of the book. Parallel Myths. And they got the Persian apocalypse and it's almost identical. So they basically took that and put it at the back of the Bible, but it was an alchemical text of an apocalypse that's going on in your body. So all the white stone, black stone, the 7 seals, the 7 chakras, all of that. And this book here goes into it. Let me show you something here. So they're telling you each chapter means this. So chapter 1, the soul. Chapter 2, the sacrosolar plexus, the heart chakra, throat chakra, brow chakra, pineal gland, meditation, guidance, self-purification, awakening of the kundalini, the elimination of the ego. All this is in that text. But the text was borrowed, put in the book, and made on a mundane level. And you thinking it's locusts in the sky and all that old stuff there. There's a rider on the white horse. That's the pineal gland. The light bringer, Lucifer, light bringer, pineal gland. The devil, pineal gland. Jacob wrestled with the devil all night. The angel all night. And when he woke up in the morning, he saw the face of God. It was called what? Pineal. You see what I'm saying? It's called pineal. But you all spooked out thinking something evil. And send your children to the hospital every day. You scared of a devil, but send your children to the white man every day. And he putting all kind of shit up your child's ass. Epidurals and all kind of shots and stuff and vaccines. You see what I'm saying? You and then what's that, brother? Yeah, go ahead.
I was wondering if you could speak about Zimbabwe, because we get a lot of negative information over here. What about,
it's just simple. It's just like Chavez down in South America, wherever that is, giving away gas. I want to give gas to Africans. Anytime somebody is doing the right thing, they're seen of as negative. You see what I'm saying?
And you mentioned before about AIDS in Libya. It's not really there. It'd be interesting. I don't know what the sort of AIDS count is in Zimbabwe, because he hasn't had any
Look, there was a woman we met, she was from the Congo. She's one of the high psychics. She's a voodoo priestess, raised in original voodoo of some Congo strain. And she's a world healer, black woman. I mean, she's African. And she heals people from the spirit world. She can see what's wrong with them, and she tell them what to do spiritually with herbs or do this or do this ritual. She was at Morehouse Medical School in Atlanta, and they so the white woman stood up and asked her, well, what about AIDS? She said, and she was in her late 40s at that time, early 50s. She said, in my life, I have never seen nothing called AIDS. She said, now everybody who came to me and said they was diagnosed with it had something else, but it wasn't no AIDS. So you could have a head cold, and they just give you AZT poisoning. They shoot you up with the AZT, and that riddles the body, and that's how they kill you. But as far as, but they ain't dying from AIDS no more in America, because they're giving them expensive drugs, placebo. Because they never, it was never none of that. Let me tell you what happened. She got a friend, this is a gay friend. And this ain't had nothing to do with no gay community thing, because the gay community ain't had AIDS in 20 years. You see what I'm saying? But this is what it was. He went to the hospital because I think he was trying to get out of work or some kind of shit. So they told him to go home. He didn't have nothing. They diagnosed him and told him he didn't have shit. To go home. So he went outside and fell on the fucking ground. Just fell out. Fell out in the damn hospital in the reception area. So they grabbed his ass and put him on the gurney, took him back there, and an hour later they diagnosed his ass with AIDS. Like, okay, nigga, you want to act funny? So there's no such thing as AIDS. It's just AZT poisoning. And what's that?
What's your opinion on
Nibiru? Nibiru is come from the word Neb Heru. It's the pineal gland.
Thank you.
Nibiru is called Neb Heru. You'll see the word Neb Heru in the Sirius mystery, but you'll see the combination because Zachariah Sitchin calls it Nibiru. You see, and then it's Neb Heru. But its original word was Neb Heru. It's in the Sirius mystery by Robert Temple. It's in another book called Architects of the Underworld by Bruce Rux. Neb Heru. And then as Dr. Yard calls it Nibiru. You see what I'm saying? Because they basically use Zachariah Sitchin's see, as above, so below. It could be a planet, but this is how you analyze things as worth anything. It's a planet. It could have very well been a planet, the 12th planet or what have you. But the real origin of it, if it's got Heru in it, that's the pineal gland. That's the third eye. So ultimately, the mystery on high pertains to us. You see what I'm saying? Is what's most important to us is the pineal gland. Because you get to the high levels of the holographic universe or whatever dimension through the pineal gland, not through no fucking spaceships. And we have spaceships. Don't get me wrong. They're out there right now, and I can show them to you. But they're not physical. They're not tin cans. The physical spaceships was created by the government from 1947 up until now. So the Roswell crash was just one of the first round airplanes that the government was testing. There are no physical spaceships. And why is it only white people get abducted? We was talking about this last night. If there's such thing as a damn crop circle, why you never saw one on the African continent? They got land down in the islands. Why you never seen them down there? Why we never seen them in Alabama, Mississippi? I'm from the fucking South. Every time you drive outside the city limits, there's a cornfield or there's a field. Why I ain't never seen them in my lifetime? And why is it I ain't paying with no big-eyed, bug-eyed people? Look, they took the god Lamb, which is Aleister Crowley's lamb. If I can find one of his pictures. They took the god Lamb and put some bug eyes on it. See if I can find one. I can't find it right now. I should have picked it out. And if you saw the movie Fire in the Sky, this is a picture of Lamb. A deity that Aleister Crowley drew and had in an exhibit at 1919 in Greenwich Village, New York. They took this deity from 1919. You see what I'm saying? And they put bug eyes on him, and they use that as the template for aliens. You saw the movie Sci-Fi in the Sky. They got on the spaceship and they opened up a closet and they had the bug-eyed spaceships in the closet. The only thing they do is rub them crackers up, play with their booty hole, and in a spaceship. But I want to ask you this question: why ain't no black people being abducted? Now look, I'm tell you something now. I deal with spirits on a mass level. That means at any time I can communicate with any spirit known. And I ain't never seen no bug-eyed people be in contact with us. That's all white people stuff. You can tell they're sociopath. Why is it that you're going to do something in the universe of alien contact and it only pertains to you? See what I'm saying? All these spiritual black people. And yet, how many of y'all been contacted? You see what I'm saying? But when you contacted physically or contacted spiritually? Was it physically or spiritually? Or you been contacted? You asked a question. You asking a question. I thought we had all. Now, all that spirit, look. When they had Independence Day came out, Pat Robertson, or the Trinity Broadcast Network, or whatever that shit is, 700 Club, he said they are aliens, but they ain't physical. The aliens and the angels are the same. They used to just be called angels in the ancient world. You see what I'm saying? But here's another form of mind control. So to let you know that his rule is forever, why is it that the white boy is the one that's all in contact with the aliens? You see what I'm saying? You go to David Icke, you go to Quaker Mutua. Remember him? If you hear David Icke, basically David Icke is putting words in this man's mouth. And the man is constantly correcting him the whole time. You see what I'm saying? But he's putting stuff in the man's mouth. You see what I'm saying? To make his own synopsis, but he had to authenticate it by going to Africa. You see what I'm saying? So people see things in the sky all the time. We can see, look, I was at the slave theater. Now, believe it or not, I am here today because of some UFO stuff. Because what I told them niggas back in 1994 at the slave theater, it would have wrecked my career. You see what I'm saying? I told them black people, when we walk outside the slave theater in Brooklyn, New York, the spaceship's going to be outside. And if they didn't show up, I wouldn't be here today. And I'm still here. But I showed them what the deal was, but what came looked like a star. And it rolled right up in front of the slave theater and stopped and started hovering with chakra lights. That was an entity. And that's the difference. What's that, brother?
Just wanted to say that if you can give us if you've heard of this prophet Yahweh, who's someone's UFOs.
This black guy that they got on Coast to Coast?
Yeah, something like that.
You didn't get Coast to Coast here? Coast to Coast was a government show that come on.
So, if you touch the matrix as well, what that's in relation to what is
all that's some hoax stuff. He talking about UFOs. I'm trying to tell you, there ain't no physical UFOs. See what I'm saying? I don't want to bust no bubble, but if the UFOs was real, Dr. York would be out of prison.
I was gonna.
I think what Delbert Blair did was basically, see what it is, the history is broken down on extraterrestrials on two levels. There's a historical origin of extraterrestrial where they were talking about spiritual beings and celestial beings that might not necessarily appear as a bodied angel. It could be balls of light. And it's that. Then you got the physical aspect of those things. And so a lot of the information that started coming out in the 1950s was about the physical aspect that was connected to the government, put out the propaganda, and Delbert Blair fuses the two together. There is no physical UFOs. You see what I'm saying? Look, I done been, one thing about it, I done been on every spiritual thing. And look, it's like this. Everything that is so evil and diabolical and dark and satanic, I done went through it. There ain't no such thing. All I do is ended up mad. Spirit's like, man, that ain't nothing but your own energy. That's what they call it, satanic. You see what I'm saying? The point I'm trying to make here is there would have been some contact by now, and I got contact. I got a ship that follows me everywhere I go, be outside the plane. It's been following me since '92. Protecting. Hell, they protected me in 2000 in the year 2000. It protected me in the year 2000. We did a ritual on my birthday in 2000, me and the sister Delva down in Atlanta in the Confederate graveyard, because we found out they had something like 10,000 slaves buried there. So we went to there and did a ritual. And when we did that ritual, 4 helicopters came, Army helicopters with the doors open. And they hovered right over us, and they saw something in the sky, and they got the hell up out of Dodge. But whatever that thing was, it can be right over you and you can't see it because it's spiritual. But a person in eyes length of it up in the sky can see the shit. And they got the hell up out of Dodge. Now, how I know that they was following me? Because when I got home, they was over my damn house. You see what I'm saying? They did all of that stuff to me until I died. Bugging the phone and all that. Then I went off radar with them. You see, I went off radar with them and stuff like that. But the point I'm trying to make here is a lot of that stuff, man, is spiritual. And what they're doing to diffuse things, they give you the physical stuff. And then they tell you it's evil. You see what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden the white man done been kicking you in the butt and locking you up, and he ain't evil no more because I got to worry about some aliens. Huh?
Sidonia, you said it's a hoax.
Sidonia?
Yeah.
With the crystals and all that stuff out there?
Yeah, the pyramid face.
Oh, you talking on Mars?
Mars.
Oh, that could very well be real. I mean, we done been everywhere. I mean, but that could be a image that we put there just like we got the Sphinx. So my point here is, but it's the whole spiritual aspect of that. Oh, that's real deal. You see what I'm saying? That's real deal. You see what I'm saying? But how we got to those things is not by no ship. You see the movie Jumpers? Anybody saw the movie Jumpers? It's on video. We could just jump there.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what happened. The movie came out, Jumpers. I didn't even see the movie yet. I was in Chicago at the Moorish Science Temple Mosque, and somebody asked me a question, what was the pyramids for? And the spirit just came to me and started talking. They said the pyramids was ancient airports. You go into a pyramid, and your body dematerializes, and you end up in Mexico. You end up in China. You end up in Japan. Those are airports for us. Because how is it that we all over, when they go to Africa, it's all over the world? Now we know it was all one planet at one time, one continent at one time, before the continental drift. But my point here is, how did we get over all over the world, even at a later time? They go in a pyramid, or they appear as Native American mounds. Because pyramids can be different things. But they used to it was jump sites. If you see the movie Jumpers, what's that, brother?
Yeah, it's like they live, isn't it, with the satellite system.
You remember how on the day they stood there and it beamed out? That's how they could jump all over the universe.
My question was, that's why it goes back to my guy with the face thing in Mars and all.
Right.
It's like with these jumpers, with all the alignment of the stars along with the pyramids. That's why I do believe that's what we used to transport.
They say in the Kabbalah, the Zohar is the written Kabbalah. The Zohar ends up in Spain, so that lets you know where it came from. The Kabbalistic thing, the Moors brought it there. The Zohar tells you that man on earth say God lives in heaven, while the angels on high say God lives on earth. So they say this is the home of the gods. And this is the home of the gods. And this is another theory that the spirit world say. I don't think it's a theory. They say each one of those planets used to be different stages of the earth. So let's say you got a ball, put in a ball, put in a ball, put in a bigger ball, put in a bigger ball. And then after that ball, after so many eons, that ball opens up and another ball comes out, and it does its eon all the way to the last outpost, which is the earth, which is the final dimension of all the planets. So all those planets out there used to be a form of the earth. See what I'm saying? You see, which the spirit of Kabbalah shows you that. The different planets line up with the different sephirods, and the earth is at the bottom, the final place. The fallen daughter is the one that is the heaven. You see what I'm saying? What's that, brother? No, this brother had his hand. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a take on Big Reggie talking,
yeah.
And he reckons, right, that the pyramids originate from the spiritual realm and they came into the physical.
That's exactly what happened. Let me tell you what happened. They're always telling you that the Egyptians had these big stones cut and they put them on barges and floated. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You can't damn near stand up in a canoe with your 125-pound body and don't tip the shit over. They're going to put a big-ass 2-ton stone and some wheat and some rafts, some papyrus reeds and float. Them don't know what the hell they talking about. And Asa Hilliard said something years ago, and he just made the transition in 2007. And Asa Hilliard said that they don't know how them pyramids is built to this day. The best book that they got written under is still Peter Tompkins' Secret of the Great Pyramids by Peter Tompkins. But they got a guy at the Temple of Angkor Wat. And you can get that, the Temple of Angkor Wat. They got a guy at the Temple of Angkor Wat. And this is Temple of Angkor Wat. Let me see if I have a picture of it, but they asked him, they went to this Vietnamese, they asked him how the Temple of Angkor Wat was built. He said it was him and some of his buddies that in another reincarnation had lined up with the gods, Vishnu, Shiva, Vishnu, and all of them, and they built that temple. The gods helped them build that temple. So that's the same thing on what happened with the pyramids. Yeah.
About this stuff of you died, yeah? I had a friend just died, another person anyway, a couple of weeks ago. Spirit kept on telling me that the person was going to die. Quiet in my sleep. And the person actually went to the dead state and come back.
Right.
And this is like the second cycle of the same thing. So just to let people know.
Yeah, that's it. It's just that I didn't know until a couple of months after I died. Somebody had to tell me, apparently you died in the spring of the year. I said, what? You died in the spring of the year and didn't know it. But, are we back on?
Yeah.
Now, I want to say this. Them gods used to, but they got a cup, a saucer in the British Museum right now. That they got, when they went into the Great Pyramids, they found this white substance that the Egyptian priests made out of some alchemical powder. And they didn't know what it was, but if they put it on this podium, it would float. If they put it on this building, it would float. If they put it on a knife, it would float. It didn't matter what size of object, it would float. And they had a whole ship full of this shit, the British. And it set the sail back to Britain with it and didn't secure the shit down. And all of it blew away with a saucer of it. But they got it in the British Museum now, and it floats. So that's the kind, they was dealing with master alchemy. You see what I'm saying? And they could take stones from one part, they could quarry a stone, and then ship it through a porthole to another dimension and put it right there at the Giza Plateau, man. These were master builders. These were doggone master builders. I know what I'm talking about when I got, there was a sister named Atifa. And Atifa used to travel with Nina Simone. And she was Nina Simone's nurse, but she was a real spiritual sister. And she used to say, she was from Georgia. And she said that people would come from miles around, black people, to see her, because when she was a little girl, she would sneeze and disappear. She would sneeze and disappear. So I know we can do different things. And she said that the spirit asked her mom and them said, well, you know, when white people find out, they're going to take you from us. So they asked the spirit to not do it, to help her along so she wouldn't do it. So I know, and you know, real life sister, you know, she's probably in her 60s now, but she used to sneeze and disappear. So I know that we can do it and stuff. We can reappear all over the earth. We can do that now. Called a Cusac's Hatteract. Remember that on Doom? The Cusac's Hatteract could be in one or more places at the same time. And that was supposed to be Paul Atreides on what's called. Well, guess what? The guy Frank Herbert got that out of a Sufi manual. That was real deal shit. A whole Sufi manual they got to talk about the Cusac's Hatteract. You could be at 3 more places at one time. You see what I'm saying? Like that. You know, so that can happen. You and this brother had his hand up. You go ahead. Yeah.
I was wondering, regarding the 12 years
Yeah.
You mentioned that you were born in 1940.
Yeah.
And then also Obama.
Yeah.
We come across information that people born in that year, when they reach the age of 49 years, which is in 2010, that those 12 they
come across information like that? Well, apparently, mine show do some stuff, but I was coming down sick one day and I ain't had nothing but a peach soda in the damn refrigerator. I said, I'm going to drink this peach soda and it's going to have everything I need in it. It was better than any explanation or anything I ever did. You see what I'm saying? I'm so good now, I tell a lie on the fucking telephone and the next day the lie comes true. Scared the shit out of me. You see what I'm saying? But when I thought I was lying, I probably was having a channel when I thought I was lying to the person. It was reality coming in, and I mistook it for a lie. You see, it came true the next day. That's not what happened. But so yeah, all that spiritual stuff, you might have a lot to do. You said what year? 2010. Hell, that's 2 years from now. You see what I'm saying? I'm 46 now, and I'm 46 now. But it's just interesting how certain things go down. Give me a few more questions. Yeah, go ahead.
What is your take on the indigo crystal children?
The indigo crystal children. That's any black child. You see what I'm saying? That's any black child. Look, my brother got some children, a little boy, and he told him to pick out the Fantasy 5 number. I don't know how much that thing is like, $500,000. And he was sitting there, and the little boy wrote it out the best he could, scribbled it. And he was on the telephone and forgot to go play it. And was still talking on the telephone and looked down, and the Fantasy 5 came up on the TV, hit $500,000. He cried like a baby. So the children can tell you something if you don't think of them as children. You see what I'm saying? If you don't think of them as children. You see what I'm saying? They're very spiritual, because apparently before I died, the same little boy started calling me, my nephew started calling me dead man. All of 2000, he dead man, that's dead man. Why you calling your uncle dead man? He's a spirit, he's dead man. Then he came up in there one day, some of the Dogons is coming, and so-and-so. I said, did you ever have a tape of mine? And they said, we don't know nothing about no fucking Dogon. We never told him about that. See what I'm saying? So yeah, so black children are all that already. You see what I'm saying? It's just that they ain't coming, they've been here. You know, they've been here. But I'll tell you one thing about them children. I will tell you this, because I think a lot of conscious black people do the wrong thing. The more spiritual are, the more discipline they need. Because the same spirit motherfucker will be mass murderers in a few years. You got to really instill shit in him. And you know, he's spiritual, I don't want to mess with him. No, that's a mass murderer in training right there. Because the more spiritual they are, you see what I'm saying? The more they become a mass murderer and a killer and all kind of whatnots and stuff and all, demons and creatures and shit, if you don't discipline them. I will tell you that now. And I see a lot of they geniuses and shit, but they're in an environment and they're not getting the stuff conducive for them and stuff like that. As the mind started rambling and that turned into pathology. What's that, brother? Mm-hmm.
Last one.
My question is, what are your thoughts on the KRS-One hip-hop movement and the effects this whole culture is having on black African people in the United States of America?
Okay.
Embodying this culture. Also, you have Mr. G. Craig Lewis who's doing his utmost best to create alongside other people who have been through the past 10, 15, 20 years who felt the burden's been so much on the soul. Most of the people who we should call our brothers who are happy the welfare of everyone regardless of skin color.
Let me see. What was the brother name? Yeah, I know KRS-One, but the other brother name was
G. Craig Lewis, who is enlightening and in essence overstanding foundations.
Yeah, but you got a lot of people right now that has to come through the alternative teachings and give the people the truth. And that's just one of them. You can benefit from a lot of Tupac Shakur, a lot of other people. Not just black people, but other people around the world. But right now that stuff has, they said that knowledge would have to open up in the last days, and that's what's happening. Now let me give you an example. KRS-One and them, one thing about this is one thing we can say, you like it or not, about the hip-hop thing. They got a documentary channel in the United States, and they showing Ecuador, they're showing places all over the world. And every youth all over the world is hip-hop. So for lack of a good whatever, you can say what you want. We never had nothing on that major phenomenon ever. From China, Japan, and all of South America, Mexico, and everything. So we've never had a phenomenon that hit that way. You see what I'm saying on that? And that's why they have to prostitute it now and take all whatever stuff is out of it and stuff, you see. So that phenomenon already happened. Now whether the good stuff will remain to come, I highly doubt it. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, even Jay-Z said that he was paid to dumb people down in his lyrics. You see what I'm saying? You know, so the shit just went just plain stupid, you see. But there's always some underground stuff, you see.
Sorry, one more question.
Yeah.
Which might be of interest to everyone.
Yeah.
I remember one of your documentaries you were speaking about Aaliyah's death, but you didn't quite elaborate enough.
Aaliyah, yeah. Aaliyah, you remember Quaker Mutua? That's a very, we're going to end on this question. You remember Quaker Mutua said that there's a ritual where you can get a young girl and put her in the bed with an old man, and the old man suck all her energy. They even did an episode of South Park where they could screw these young boys and young children and get all the energy. What they did to Aaliyah turned 22, which is the number of Mayat. And what they did was right before 9/11 or right after 9/11. And what they did with Aaliyah is that they used Aaliyah, they blew up that plane or whatever it was. And for Aaliyah lasted from 2001 to 2004 as they just took and just sucked her energy. And they used the template to do it with the movie Queen of the Damned. So what that happened in Queen of the Damned, when they all drew on her energy, that happened in real life. So right after after she finished Queen of the Damned, they killed her, and well, they didn't kill her, they blew up the plane and they took her in as a sex slave. Not even a sex slave, it was an energy slave, a vampire. They had to choose a goddess. So some person that was 22 during the millennium, because 2001 was the millennium, not 2000. So they had to use that, and they used that, and what they also did, they because she played Akasha, which is the Akashic records, and Psittakosh, which is called Melanin, because she played Akasha, it opened up a realm to Akashic records so that they could extend trying to find knowledge on what is called an Akashic plane, because it was shut down for them. So they had to get a 22, and they had to put her in the mythology of Akasha, and they used Anne Rice stuff to do it. And then which opened up a ritual and a template that they could feed off of her and get information from the Akashic records. But she later on died or ascended in 2004. About 4 years later, 3 or 4 years later. And recently, she's come back and she's got enough energy now, so she's starting to destroy stuff. So you can take this for what it's worth, but she came to us 2 weeks ago with the brother out of New York that's panicked. They come through him, and she told us she was the one that did that earthquake in China. She said there was a reason why that whole thing went down. So I'm saying these are spirits a lot of time when those things occur too also. You see, on that particular level. But yet they used her as a weapon, as a vampire type thing to drain her energy to get certain cosmic things going on. So right now we're going to come back tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's Armin Keppen Ross and Teppen Ra, yeah, representing in London. I don't live for today, I'm from another tomorrow. I would love the black man to wake up and rise up, and the black woman to stop living the white man's world and running his rat race. And let's rise up to be the gods that we are, you know, and claim back what is ours. Bobby's always on point. I love the way Bobby comes correct. Bobby's like melanin magic, you know. He just comes at it whichever way, whichever angle. Loving the answers and questions. Love his openness, you get me? That's a God right there. That's me right there. Bobby is me and I am Bobby. You see what I'm saying to you? Yeah? Feeling that, like, love, fam.
It's really interesting to see Bobby and get the knowledge, and also brings into focus our sisters, and it's kind of shown us we have to overstand them and over respect them, because of what they can bring. So that's a good thing. So yeah, good times are coming. Thank you.
Today was very important, some of the stuff that Bobby Hemmitt said, for this time that we're living in life now, and basically everybody should be into consciousness. Time to wake up.
Thank you.
8 years.
There might be a delivery in here. There might be one left.
Oh, you gonna put this on the DVD?
Yeah.
You gonna slip it up on the DVD?
You got any comments about tonight?
Oh, the comment. Well, listen to Bobby quite a long time. Helped support some of my own insights and so forth, and it's very good to hear this stuff because a lot of us don't talk on the spiritual level. A lot of the teachers do speak on the political, historical, and that's not what we need. We need to activate power, you know, spiritually, not religiously, you know. So what Bobby talks about, and what some of the other teachers who's on that level, just like myself, is great, it's wonderful, it is needed, because we're spiritual beings. We're fighting for an identity that is not even corporeal. You know, piece of land, okay, it's big, but I mean, we're bigger than that. Bigger than that. So today was brilliant, and I'm looking to hear the other two classes. You know what I mean? The magician, magic time. Straight occult, you know what I mean? So this is it. This is what we're dealing with. It's magic time. We're not on no phony, baloney stuff. It's real deal science. We're taking it back home. Big up Bobby Hemmitt, big up Darren, big up Ancient Future. Info at ancientfuture.org.uk. Get locked in, man. Get the info. Get it. Don't just be taking in the information. It's practice. You understand what I'm trying to say? Put into practice. Make it applicable. You understand what I'm trying to say? And then you start seeing stuff start working. Yo, look at that. Look, just look. Get the DVD, and there's more and more series coming out. You know what I'm saying? Me, big up to brother Darren, big up Martin Books. We're at work, we're putting in the work now. So this is it. We've got to start applying it. You understand what I'm trying to say? I'm not angel myself. There's certain things I've got to apply myself. So this is it. This is part and parcel of it. So, like I said, Ancient Future. That's it. Magic time.
I'm enlightened, I'm overwhelmed, and I'm back tomorrow and Sunday. One love.
Give thanks.
Best. I've seen so many videos, I just knew I had to be here to see him in person. He's a blessed brother. Plenty of knowledge. Wisdom and overflow.
It was amazing, and he was more than we could ever expect, and we're so happy that he came to see us from the Caribbean here, and we're ready to support him. So keep going, Bobby Hemmitt. We got your back. Blessings.
Well, I thought it was very informative. He actually he didn't go in depth about information, but he was very broad and he gave a lot of information, diverse place. I like the fact that basically he answered questions from the beginning. He didn't basically leave you until the last minute until, people, Okay. So I like that. Yeah. I love Bobby Hemmitt though.
Just pick up everyone. This is heavy mental to reawaken the mind.
No, you come now.
Just keep focused.
Keep
the focus. Reclaim the mind. Peace.
Universal awakener. I've been tuning into Bobby since February. I was ill, and my sister and my people, they thought I was high on something, but I was high on energy and Bobby energy. And oh man, I was shining like the sun. The realm that he took me through, the spiritual bath that I took. 3 capfuls of bleach, 3 capsules of vinegar, 3 capsules of lime, and 3 capsules of ammonia. And the candle, the lighted candle, and the temple of Dendera. And going into that bath, I felt my heart chakra take over my heart, and the palpitations just, it was just powerful. Yeah man, coming back tomorrow, no doubt. Yeah, one love.